Welcome to another episode of Meeting the Pros. I'm your host, Finn. There's been an interesting development recently. When the topic of immigration comes up, generally the default picture has been people moving to English-speaking countries, such as the United States, Great Britain, and Australia, and also other countries as well. But today we want to present a slightly different picture. On today's episode, we want to focus on there's an interesting trend when English-speaking populations in the United States started to move to European countries. And what are the implications for potential applicants elsewhere as well? So for today's topic, we have the honor of having a very experienced attorney, Mr. Filipe Eusébio. Yeah, so he has been the partner of a boutique law firm located in Lisbon, Portugal, called the Bruno and Associados, with many specialized areas of practice. And one of those specialized areas of practice is immigration services.
Yeah.
Okay. So welcome, Filipe.
Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So could you please talk about the law firm a little bit at first, and what is the Portuguese Golden Visa program?
So about the law firm is a boutique law firm. What we try to do is to be very tailor-made to each of our clients. The office is fully fledged, so you have corporate law, tax law. Tax law actually implies on the work of all the departments. We have a litigation department. So clients feel very comfortable coming to us because they know, despite coming for immigration or coming for corporate or whatever, they have access to multiple areas of the law. Regarding the Golden Visa, actually regarding immigration, my first case at the office was an immigration case. And then, of course, in 2012, when the Golden Visa program came up, we had already so many foreign clients that we started proposing and challenging our clients to do the Golden Visa program. So we started very early. Then it became big. So we're right now handling roughly 1,500 cases for clients from all over the world.
Thank you for that information. That certainly sounds very amazing.
It is.
Yeah. So specifically regarding the immigration industry. So in today's contemporary society,
identity and nationality are, so to speak, no longer strictly confined to one's place of birth. So what is particularly interesting to me is that according to a survey by the Greenback Expat Tech Services, nearly 1/3 of American expats are now planning to renounce their U.S. citizenship and are seriously considering moving to another a nation and naturalize there. So more and more Americans are choosing to move to Europe. So what do you think is driving this trend? Is it the American tax regime, is current political landscape, or something else?
To be honest with you, I have right now American clients living all over the country. So they're not just moving to Lisbon or Porto. They are moving to small towns in the interior, enjoying very peaceful lives. And as Portugal infrastructure, especially the internet, is so good, they are able to work remotely. So I have, for instance, a tax attorney in the US working remotely in a very small town in the interior of Portugal. He commutes to the US every now and then. So I would say access to a very peaceful, moderate environment where you don't have elements like racism, like gun violence. In Portugal, the existence of guns, it's almost no. There's no guns. So I think that's the main drive. Then I have hard situations where clients no longer feel welcomed in their country, where they feel that policies can change overnight, and that sense of insecurity in one's life where you don't know if you're going to be waking up the next morning and the rules are totally changed. I think that's one of the main drives that drags people into a country like Portugal.
Understood. So basically Americans are seeking a life with white picket fence somewhere else.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay. So that's pretty understandable. So not just Americans, so to speak, they're also really sizable market for applicants for Portugal's Golden Visa programs from Asian market as well.
Yeah.
So if you compare US applicants to Asian applicants, do you think that is there a clear difference between the two groups, or do they have similar consideration?
There's one main difference, which is normally an American client does not need to apply for a visa to travel to the Schengen. So in their mind, they have a relocation ambition, meaning that they want to spend more than the allowed 90 days on their passport, on the ability to travel to Europe. On our Asian clients, I think it comes more with the ability of being free to jump on a plane and land in, I don't know, Paris or land in Berlin or land in Lisbon. That's more the drive of it, to be able to open that part of the globe without the need of going to the consulate and asking for a visa in advance. So the motivations, the drives are effectively different, I would say. Yeah.
So do you think that there's like specific advantages in Portugal for Asian applicants?
I would say that yes, because even though, let's say, for instance, the Greek program on the Golden Visa is much faster, we never noticed that Portugal was left behind because it's a slower program. I think we have, on that sense, I'm a Portuguese, so I'm gonna talk good things about my country. I would say that we are a very welcoming society where everybody tries their best to communicate. It's funny because even though sometimes we don't speak the best English, people just try to reach out to the other, even though you're coming from the most remote place on earth, to be present in our country. So I would say that's the first difference that we have as a country, as a population. We are very embracing. Maybe it comes from the fact that we are also immigrants. So everybody has someone in their families that has been an immigrant or is an immigrant, friends or to Australia. There's Portuguese all over the world. So we have that in the understanding of someone that's visiting our country should be welcomed, should be taken care of. So I think it's very Portuguese thing. Yeah.
That is quite amazing, actually. Yeah. So now we actually lay the necessary groundwork for the Portugal Golden Visa program. Mm-hmm. So now we can sort of get more into the meats of the discussion. Mm-hmm. Investment immigration in Europe has always been, quite popular.
Yeah.
So, but European governments have been steadily, slow but steadily, like raising the bars for entry in recent years. So, what do you think are the reasons behind these changes?
So I would say the raising of the minimum amounts comes as an answer to somehow the internal disputes in the country about the program. In Portugal, what I've seen is that despite the changes in the program as we go through the years, there's a lot of support to the program itself, meaning that Portugal is in the periphery of Europe. We need foreign investment. The Golden Visa has proven to be a successful method of attracting foreign investment. I think it's unanimous in the country that now that the real estate option was taken out of the options, the money that comes for the country comes into the real economy. It's being invested in funds. Funds are investing in local companies. These local companies have access to liquidity, a source of liquidity that they would not have otherwise. So my view about it is that the Golden Visa program as an immigration program inside of Portugal is a very peaceful theme. There's no dispute around it. We're not selling citizenship, we're selling residency, and it's very, very different one thing from the other.
So I guess like in Portugal, Golden Visa has always been very popular prior to 2022 or 2023.
But in October 2023, as you just mentioned, that the real estate option has been stamped out, but the investment fund option was preserved. What is the logical drivers behind this kind of choices? Like, is there something to do with electoral politics?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because we can say today, 2025, that the elimination of the real estate option, the Golden Visa, had no effect whatsoever in the prices of real estate. They keep rising in Portugal. We have a shortage of offer. Mm-hmm. And when you have a lot of people wanting to buy and no product available, it's just normal that the prices go high. So it was very much ideological, the fact that they scrapped off the real estate option, because the left-wing parties were saying that the Golden Visa applicants were taking properties that should be on the market available for people wanting to live there. And it has proven to be wrong. Those properties don't exist. We don't have enough properties in Portugal, and that's the reason why the prices are so high. We have some hope still that the real estate option may come back.
So I guess we can cross our fingers. Like,
let's
hope it come back.
So. Let's hope so. Yeah.
So, like from my understanding, the Golden Visa program has the investment fund route has a lot of different options.
Yeah.
So, what type of investment funds are currently more attractive?
It varies a lot, actually, according to the origin of the client. Some clients love the risk, so they take riskier funds, but with higher prospects of return. Other the clients love moderation, so they go for funds that have low risk. We see a lot of people going for them, so they invest in the Portuguese stock exchange market or in Portuguese bonds, and there's a lot of people investing into it. There's a lot of people actually mixing products because you can invest in multiple funds at the same time. So you would have clients coming in partially for open-ended funds and then for closed-ended funds. On the closed-ended funds, it's interesting to see how they go and get traditional industries in Portugal, like hospitality, like the green energy. So there's a lot of funds moving into those sectors of activity.
So now we tend to focus on these questions because like there was like concerning developments that regarding the European visa programs.
Yeah.
I am, of course, referring to the Malta CBI program.
Yeah.
So recently, the European Court of Justice has declared that the program is somewhat incompatible with EU law. Specifically, the court states that the program grants EU citizenship in exchange for money. So thus lacking a genuine link, quote unquote, between the applicants at the member states.
Yeah.
So, and this lack of genuine links has fundamentally undermines the integrity of EU citizenships, according to the European Court of Justice. So this ruling basically marks the beginning of the end for one of the Europe's most sought-after investment-based citizenship programs. Now, given that the Portugal Golden Visa program also requires only minimum residency, so do you think that carries a similar risk?
I would say the programs are very different because in Portugal, you're talking about RBI, not CBI. And overall, even though citizenship is in the mindset of a lot of golden visa investors, they start being residents of the country. Okay, so I don't think we have a similar problem or a similar interpretation as Malta had, because we go from very different places. Now, will Portuguese citizenship become harder? Will the government have the temptation of changing the citizenship law, or will there be any pressure from the EU to change the citizenship law? That's a discussion we're having right now in the country. So, on the residency by investment, on the golden visa, actually the government last week came public and said we are supporters of the program. Actually, they are the fathers of the program back in 2012, the same coalition, and it's going to be stable and remaining. That's the indications that we have. Actually enhanced, as they say. We're talking about two pieces of legislation. One is the immigration law that deals with the golden visa. That's peaceful. On the citizenship law, that's where we're having the discussion right now. I think, in a sense, if someone has committed so much money into Portugal and has abided to the rules, even though they may seem easy rules to cope with, bear in mind that we also demand that people have at least A2 level of Portuguese, and I have right now hundreds of clients learning Portuguese that would otherwise not happen. In order to be compatible with the existing rules. At the same time, if you ask me is 2 weeks enough for you to connect to the country? I would say that probably not. And probably the possibility of having, at the end of the 5 years, the need of having the clients more connected or more integrated or more knowledgeable about the history of the country, etc., could be something interesting to explore. What we shouldn't do is move the goalposts, meaning that if those were the rules for someone who applied last year or 2 years or 3 years ago, we should respect that, because that was the legitimate expectation of someone applying for the program. If we want to change and make it so that people have more connections to the country, even though the Golden Visa program should not be a relocation program. We have other programs for relocation. More connections, like knowing the history, knowing a little bit better about Portuguese politics, being in conditions actually to vote with knowledge once they become Portuguese. I totally agree with that. What we cannot change is what we cannot do is change the rules in the middle of the game.
So for according to your professional knowledge or your experience regarding this program, so the proposed two changes to the naturalization or nationality law of the Portuguese government, so that has sort of a minimal effects on the golden visa program. Is that correct?
We still don't know exactly what's going to be published. Okay. So the discussion right now is, should we go from 5 to 10 years? And should we have, more rules than just having the A2 level of Portuguese, meaning that should we add knowledge about the Portuguese constitution, knowledge about the Portuguese political system, etc. So people can, when being welcomed into the country as citizens, feel more like a citizen, feel that they are more integrated on that side of the country. So that's the discussion right now. What I think is, I understand the principle. What I don't understand is that law, if that's going to be existent, does not consider that someone that entered already a residency program, having in mind becoming Portuguese in 5 years, that person should be protected somehow.
Understood. So we just had to wait until the process basically go through.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood.
So another important considerations for applicants to the Golden Visa program is often the processing time.
Yeah.
So has the current processing time be extended, or what is the trend compared to previous years?
Allows me to expand a little bit on what to expect, especially for people that are right now waiting for so long inside the system. So the government has announced, actually they have conveyed to us that back in March that they wanted to clear the entire backlog until the end of the year. So that's the perspective we had back in March. Remember that we had then an election in the middle of May, which was a little bit disturbing for the timings and procedures, but the same government got re-elected, and we are now expecting that they abide to the promise of clearing the backlog until the end of the year. And actually, last week as well, the minister came public and said, this is our goal. This will mean that clients from 2022, 2023, and 2024 will finally have biometric data collection, meaning and cards issued, residency cards issued in up to 90 working days according to the law. This was something also mentioned to us at the firm by IMA, which is the Immigration Authority, as a promise and a commitment. I'll tell you that when I say this, a lot of people say, well, again, the government making promises, believe you, how you can still believe them. But the fact is that they're bringing into the program a very special task force that cleared the expression of interest applications. The expression of interest was a special application that existed in Portugal where you could just come in and register in a portal. That has allowed hundreds of thousands of people to register in that system. And this special task force cleared 400,000 applications in 1 year. So I would say they are skilled enough to clear 40,000, 45,000, which is a pending backlog on the Golden Visa in up to 6 months. So I'm usually optimistic, but considering the circumstances, I would say that they have enough know-how and enough knowledge inside that team to effectively clear this backlog.
Yeah, certainly. To me, it sounds like it goes beyond just regular government promises. They actually have actionable plans and also can have produced solid results.
Yeah.
A lot of things going to happen, like on the renewals, on the renewals of the Golden Visa, there's going to be a special website where you go, a portal where you go and apply for the renewal. So I think the government is hands-on, actually departing from the understanding that the Golden Visa program is to be maintained as an active source of foreign investment into the country. So if you want to keep people happy, you've got to show that the program effectively works, and there's no other way of further attracting people into it.
That sounds certainly very reasonable. Yeah. So for investors who do not plan to reside in Portugal on a long-term basis, how realistic is the possibility of obtaining citizenship after 5 years?
So that's a very good question. For now, according to the text I have seen already, so there's a lot of information circulating right now, and we working in the immigration sector have access to that information. There are texts that require for citizenship effective residency and some proposals. We don't know yet the exact source of them. Some proposals mention that the new citizenship law, the new changes to the citizenship law should impose effective residency. The vast majority of the texts that I've been seeing don't impose effective residency or have an exception for golden visa applicants because the rules of the program don't imply effective residency, so you can renew the residency permit. So still to be seen what effectively is going to be happening. I think it's going to, if they impose effective residency for golden visa applicants, it's a contradiction of the program per se. So if you're allowing people to renew their golden visa cards without effective residency, you should allow them also a way to become citizens without effective residency. And I think it's a peaceful understanding of the exception that the golden visa applicants are in. So let's see. It's still too soon to know, but the mindset of the legislation, the compatibility between the two legislations, I would say implies that a golden visa applicant should not be required to have effective residency in order to become a Portuguese citizen.
Understood. I mean, this has been truly formative. Like, I guess this is the true value of having like a attorney like really like tap into like even the proposed legislation policies and also like local culture and how like laws like function within a certain I guess immigration sector. Yeah. I mean, like, even though there are like a lot of process like still like hanging there that requires like further discussion down the line, I feel like I can already make like some informed decisions already.
Yeah. But never skip having a lawyer. I keep saying this because some people consider that going to a foreign country through an immigration program, you shouldn't need legal advice. I say otherwise. I say that if you're doing such a significant move in the golden visa, for instance, doing such a significant investment, have a lawyer by your side. Even though it's not just me, there's a lot of amazing professionals in Portugal that you should connect with because it's a lot of money. It's a very important move for you and your family. It's something that can last for generations in your family. So do it well in the beginning, making sure that you reach a successful ending on your application.
Yeah, certainly. Like, even besides that, just because like even though like Portugal is part of the European Union, like every country has its own integrated legal system.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we can just pivot a little bit more towards, our partnership, Global Visa and the law firm. So prior to partnering with Global Visa, so what were your initial impressions of Global Visa? So do you see any specific qualities that stands?
I mean, when talking about Global Visa, talking about the biggest immigration agency in the world. So you say everything like that. And having the possibility and the ability to maintain that consistency over the years tells a lot about the way Global Visa works. So for me, it has been a privilege so far to be a witness of how you do it, how you follow up specifically with each client. It's a very interesting mindset because it's similar to mine in a boutique way. You are able to be global, but at the same time have the boutique mentality, meaning that you reach out to each individual client, know the name of the client, the name of the spouse, the name of the children, know exactly the specific needs of each client. And that eases up a lot of my work because working in team with Global Visa, it's very easy with the same mindset.
Thank you for that. I mean, like reaching out and also forming stable partnerships with leading law firms in such a promising like immigration sector such as Portugal has always been, stable and also the wish of Global Visa law firm. So now, last question, I promise. So, which is just as a hypothetical one. So if you were to leave Portugal, and which country would be your top of the list of your choice to immigrate to?
Okay, so I've traveled around the world. I've been blessed to be able to travel to a lot of countries, a lot of destinations. And the more I travel, the more I think that despite the fact that I'm Portuguese, you're Chinese, that there's Americans and Australians, we all abide to the same principles of wanting to have a peaceful mind, wanting to have happiness and with us and our families. And that's the main principle that keeps us all together in this very troubled world. If I were to relocate somewhere, I would say it's going to sound like I'm doing a favor, but it's not. I feel very much welcomed in China. It was a huge surprise for me how welcomed I was, how embracing you are of me. And I gotta thank everyone I've been relating with for that. And I will never put aside the possibility of living in China. If I wanted to have a more relaxed life, I would probably not come to China. I would probably go somewhere else for fishing, which is my hobby and the thing I love the most doing. So if you ask me, I would be divided probably between China and the US, which I love as well, visiting and being, where very different realities, but at the same time, places that I've always felt very welcome at. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Your words should keep me solid.
Yeah.
Such an uncertain times. Thank you so much for the invaluable professional insights. Forming stable and also long-term global partnership has also been a stable and a long-term, I guess, goals for Globe Visa. It is also like a pleasure for Globe Visa to form like a stable partnership with leading partners and also leading law firms in specific legal also immigration sectors. So it has been a pleasure, and it also cleared up a lot of uncertainties regarding the Portuguese golden visa, I guess. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Finn. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first on Me in a Pro series. So please like and subscribe, and please stay tuned for more critical information regarding immigration, investments, and a lot more here at Globe Visa.